Okay, so the last question in judicial process is logic, history, customs, and accepted standard of right conduct. Judicial process is shaped historically. Legal logic derives from precedents, customs guide judicial decision making, right conduct influences judicial integrity, courts apply principles of fairness, justice aims to protect rights, legal norms are culturally rooted, history shapes modern judicial thinking, moral reasoning plays a role, laws evolve based on society, courts act as interpreters of law, legal ethics govern judges' actions, customary laws affects judicial decisions, judges base decisions on facts, social justice is judicial goal, right conduct aligns with justice, legal standards guide ethical behavior, judicial review ensures legal integrity, judges follow procedural law strictly, history influences evolving legal interpretations. Types of logic in judicial process: deductive logic, general principles to specific facts; inductive logic, inferring principles from specific cases; analogical reasoning, using similarities in cases; pragmatic reasoning, using focus on practical outcomes; logical positivism, relying on observable evidence; formal logic, structured rule based reasoning; legal realism, law as an evolving practice; interpretivism, justice according to moral standards; constructivist logic, creating rules from social consensus; ex post facto reasoning, considering past legal precedents; statutory interpretation, interpreting laws according to intent; equitable reasoning, focusing on fairness and justice; balancing logic, weighing competing interests and rights; logical consistency, maintaining coherent legal reasoning; logical fallacies, avoiding illogical arguments in law; abductive reasoning, inferring the best explanation; functional reasoning, considering the function of laws; conservative reasoning, preserving established legal standards; progressive reasoning, adapting laws to societal needs; pragmatic justice law, Jake, focus on feasible solutions. History and judicial process: Roman law, basis of many legal systems; common law tradition, judicial decisions from binding precedences; civil traditional law tradition, codified legal frameworks guide judgment; Hindu law, ancient customs and traditions influence; English jurisprudence, legal systems shaped by British rule; colonial legacy, colonial history affects modern systems; independence movement shaped modern legal frameworks; post colonial development shift towards independent legal identity; medieval Islamic jurisprudence influenced legal thought globally; French Revolution impact spread of equality and justice ideals; American Constitution introduced judicial review and democracy; Enlightenment ideas pushed for legal rationality and rights; development of case law, precedent based decision making grows; global human rights movements shaped contemporary legal systems; judicial reforms in India transition from colonial to democratic law; role of common law strengthened judicial reasoning over time; influence of religion, religious texts as legal influence; legal evolution post-war, focus on human rights after WW2; constitutionalism in judiciary, establishing the constitution as supreme; modern judiciary, courts' role in societal changes; customs in judicial process, courtroom etiquette, rules of behavior in court; precedent doctrine following past judicial decisions, interpretation of statutes, customs, and statutory construction, respect for legal authorities, judges' respect for higher courts, legal formalities, maintaining order and procedure, rules of evidence, established practices for admissibility, judicial independence, customary principle of impartiality, presumption of innocence, custom in criminal justice systems, respect for lawyers, established traditions of legal advocacy, court procedures, customary methods of case management, customary international law, unwritten international legal practices, due process, prescribed norms for fairness, adherence to judicial code, judges' conduct and ethics, role of jury, customary inclusion of jury trials, plea bargaining practices, custom in criminal justice, public access to court records, legal custom on transparency, customary rights and remedies, established legal principles, customary law in tribunals applied in local and tribal courts, legal culture, influence of legal traditions, acceptance of precedent, customary importance in legal reasoning, accepted standard of right conduct in judicial process, impartiality, judges must be unbiased in decisions, fairness, all parties receive equal treatment, integrity, judges must act honestly, transparency, clear reasoning for judicial decisions, respect for rule of law, courts follow legal frameworks, adherence to precedent, respect for past decisions, accountability, judges must answer for actions, ethical standards, judicial conduct must align with ethics, professionalism, judges must uphold court decorum, confidentiality, protecting sensitive legal information, objectivity, discussions based on law, not personal bias, competence, judges must understand law thoroughly, judicial temperament, handling cases with patience, neutrality in politics, judges must avoid political influence, equality, equal treatment of all cases, due process, following legal procedures consistently, public service, judges serve society and justice, fair hearing, ensuring both sides are heard, responsibility to society, upholding public welfare and rights, legal consistency, ensuring similar cases are treated equally, important case laws, Brown versus Board of Education, landmark ruling on segregation, court declared segregation unconstitutional, relied on principles of equality, challenged historical precedents in law, court's decision impacted civil rights, recognized the social impact of law, court highlighted importance of education, overturned previous doctrine of separate but equal, emphasized societal change and equality, historic case for racial justice, court demonstrated courage in judgment, changed racial dynamics in education, established principles of non-discrimination, court prioritized fairness over precedent, decision based on justice principles, pushed for nationwide desegregation, reflects changing societal values and law, demonstrated the need for judicial activism, reaffirmed constitutional equality standards, court acted in the public interest. RVR case on marital rape, court held marital rape unlawful, recognized women's rights in marriage, demonstrated shift in legal thinking, challenged outdated customary views. Court acknowledged evolving societal standards, emphasized human rights in marital law, reaffirmed commitment to gender equality, decision represented legal and social progress, court ruled against marital immunity, set precedent for future cases, redefined legal boundaries in marriage, reflects changing gender norms in law, reaffirmed principle of personal autonomy, decision supported women's rights to justice, showed courts' adaptability to social changes, enforced the standard of fairness focused on human dignity and rights, judicial restraint balanced with social need, court prioritize women's rights over customs. Conclusion logic guides judicial reasoning effectively. History shapes modern legal systems, customs influence judicial decision making processes, right conduct is essential for justice, judges must act with integrity, judicial processes evolve with society, laws adapt to societal needs, respect for precedent ensures consistency, courts balance fairness with law, history informs the development of law, customary practices ensure judicial stability, standards of conduct maintain public trust, moral values guide legal interpretations, judicial decisions must promote justice, courts should uphold societal principles, legal decisions must be ethical, judicial accountability ensures transparency and justice, acknowledging history ensures legal consistency, judicial integrity is foundational to justice, courts balance logic, history, and customs.